A young woman named Elisa Lam travels to a new city, full of life and excitement, but something goes terribly wrong. Elisa vanishes, days turn into weeks. The mystery deepens, and the answer, when it comes, is both shocking and unsettling. Elisa Lam's story is more than just a tragic news story, it's a mystery that has captivated the world. The chilling elevator footage that went viral added to the intrigue. Social media became a digital investigation board, with people sharing theories and analyzing evidence. Was it a tragic accident, a sinister act, or something else entirely? The search for answers continues, driven by the hope that one day, we might finally understand what happened to Elisa Lam. The Cecil Hotel, where Elisa was last seen, has a dark history linked to numerous deaths and disappearances. Built in the 1920s, it was once grand, but became a haven for transients and criminals. Its grim reputation adds another layer of intrigue to Elisa's case. The Cecil's dark past includes suicides, overdoses, and even murders. Serial killers have walked its halls, drawn to the hotel's anonymity and the vulnerability of its residents. Elisa Lam, a 21-year-old Canadian student, was full of life and dreams. She was a student at the University of British Columbia, known for her warm smile and kind heart. In January 2013, she embarked on a solo trip across the west coast of the United States. She carefully planned her itinerary, sharing her excitement with friends and family. Little did they know this journey would take a tragic and unexpected turn. Elisa's journey began in San Diego, California, where she documented her adventures through photographs and blog posts. From San Diego, she traveled north to Los Angeles and checked into the Cecil Hotel, unaware of its dark history. As Elisa settled into her temporary home, she continued to update her blog and social media accounts. However, her entries began to take on a different tone, hinting at loneliness and unease. These subtle changes would later become a source of speculation and analysis. The Cecil Hotel stood as a towering monolith in downtown Los Angeles, a place where shadows clung to the corners. Built in the 1920s, it was intended as a luxurious hotel, but declined during the Great Depression. Over the decades, the Cecil became synonymous with misfortune, a haven for the lost and forgotten. Its rooms witnessed suicides, overdoses, and unspeakable acts of violence. Elisa Lam, a young woman with dreams of adventure, had unwittingly chosen a hotel steeped in despair. The Cecil Hotel's history was littered with stories of untimely ends, like Pigeon Goldie Osgood's murder in 1964. Serial killer Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, reportedly resided at the Cecil during his reign of terror. The hotel's darkness wasn't always tied to high-profile cases. There were countless stories of suicides and unexplained deaths. The weight of these past events created an atmosphere of unease. Elisa Lam, unaware of the hotel's grim history, had stepped into a place where reality seemed to blur with the darkness of the past. Elisa Lam checked into the Cecil Hotel on January 26, 2013, seeking adventure and anonymity. During her first few days, she visited local attractions and documented her experiences. However, a shift occurred in her demeanor, a subtle change that would later be scrutinized. On January 31, 2013, Elisa Lam vanished, sparking a frantic search. Her disappearance captivated the world, with her family clinging to hope while grappling with growing fear. Days turned into weeks, and Elisa Lam was gone. The last confirmed sighting of Elisa was on January 31, 2013, captured on the hotel's security cameras. The eerie elevator footage showed Elisa behaving strangely, pressing all the buttons and gesturing as if talking to someone, but the hallway remained empty. Elisa was alone. Or was she? The disappearance of Elisa Lam sent shockwaves through Los Angeles, making headlines and captivating the public. Theories abounded, from the mundane to the outlandish. Volunteers joined the search, distributing flyers and scouring the internet for clues. The The LAPD followed every lead, but Elisa remained missing. Her disappearance was a puzzle with seemingly no solution. On February 19, 2013, the mystery took a gruesome turn when guests at the Cecil Hotel began complaining about the water pressure. Maintenance workers discovered Elisa Lam's body floating in one of the water tanks on the roof. The discovery sent shockwaves through the city and beyond, igniting a media frenzy. How did Elisa's body end up in a water tank on the roof of the Cecil Hotel? The question haunted investigators and the public alike. The discovery of Elisa Lam's body shifted the investigation from a missing person case to a death investigation. The coroner's report ruled Elisa Lam's death an accidental drowning, with no evidence of foul play or trauma. But the circumstances surrounding her death remained bizarre and unexplained. How did she get onto the roof? How did she end up in the water tank? These unanswered questions fueled speculation and conspiracy theories. The Cecil Hotel's security cameras captured Elisa Lam's last known movements in a hotel elevator. The grainy footage showed Elisa behaving erratically, pressing multiple buttons and gesturing as if talking to someone. She stepped in and out of the elevator, peering down the hallway. The footage lasted for nearly 4 minutes, showing strange and inexplicable behavior. The footage ended abruptly, leaving viewers with an unsettling feeling that something was terribly wrong. The elevator footage, once it was released to the public, spread like wildfire across the internet. It was uploaded to YouTube, shared on social media, and discussed endlessly in online forums. People from all over the world watched the grainy footage, captivated by Elisa's strange behavior and the mystery surrounding her disappearance. The footage had an unsettling quality that was difficult to shake. It was as if Elisa Lam was acting out a scene from a horror movie, her movements both eerie and heartbreaking. The lack of context, the absence of any clear explanation for her actions, only added to the mystery. The internet, with its insatiable appetite for the strange and unexplained, turned the footage into a digital ghost story. Theories abounded, ranging from the plausible to the outlandish. Some suggested Elisa was suffering a mental health crisis, her behavior a manifestation of her inner turmoil. Others suspected foul play, believing she was being pursued or threatened by an unseen assailant. The footage also tapped into our collective fear of the unknown. The idea that someone could vanish without a trace, their last moments captured on camera, was a chilling thought. The elevator, a symbol of everyday life, transformed into a stage for something sinister and inexplicable. The elevator footage, with its grainy quality and haunting imagery, became a breeding ground for speculation. Internet sleuths, armed with amateur detective skills and a thirst for the truth, dissected the footage frame by frame, searching for clues that might explain Elisa's behavior and ultimate fate. Some pointed to Elisa's hand gestures, suggesting she might be communicating in sign language. Others analyzed her body language, interpreting it as evidence of drug use or a psychotic break. Theories ranged from the mundane to the bizarre, with some even suggesting supernatural forces were at play. The Cecil Hotel, with its already sinister reputation, became a character in the online narrative. Stories of the hotel's dark past, its connection to serial killers and unexplained deaths, fueled speculation that Elisa's disappearance was just another chapter in the hotel's gruesome history. The online world buzzed with theories about secret societies, government conspiracies, and even demonic possession. The case took on a life of its own, fueled by a potent mix of true crime fascination, internet sleuthing, and the human need to find explanations for the unexplainable. The internet, in all its vastness and anonymity, became a breeding ground for theories about Elisa Lam's death. Amateur sleuths, self-proclaimed experts, and armchair detectives from around the world pored over the elevator footage, analyzed witness statements, and scoured the internet for clues. They debated endlessly in online forums, each new piece of information, no matter how insignificant, sparking a flurry of speculation and conjecture. Some theories focused on the possibility of foul play. Was Elisa Lam the victim of a stalker, a predator lurking in the shadows of the Cecil Hotel, or perhaps someone she encountered during her travels, someone who gained her trust before turning sinister? The hotel's notorious past, its links to serial killers and violent crimes, fueled speculation that Elisa had become the latest victim in a long line of tragedies. Others delved into the realm of the supernatural. The Cecil Hotel, with its grim history and oppressive atmosphere, seemed like a place where the veil between the living and the dead might be thin. Was Elisa Lam's strange behavior in the elevator a sign of mental breakdown, or was she being influenced by unseen forces, her actions controlled by something beyond human comprehension? The elevator footage, with its grainy quality and Elisa's erratic movements, became a Rorschach test for the online world. People saw what they wanted to see, their interpretations often shaped by their own beliefs, fears, and fascinations. The case became a blank canvas onto which the internet projected its own anxieties about safety, vulnerability, and the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of everyday life. Months after Elisa Lam's body was discovered, the Los Angeles County Coroner's Office released its findings. The official cause of death: accidental drowning. The toxicology report revealed no traces of illegal drugs or alcohol in her system, ruling out the possibility of an overdose or substance-induced psychosis. The report concluded that Elisa, who had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, had likely experienced a severe manic episode, leading to her erratic behavior and ultimately, her tragic demise. The coroner's report, while seemingly definitive, did little to quell the speculation surrounding Elisa Lam's death. The circumstances of her drowning remained perplexing. How did she gain access to the rooftop, which was locked and secured? How did she end up inside one of the heavy, water-filled tanks? These unanswered questions continued to haunt investigators, fueling skepticism about the official findings. Some experts suggested that Elisa, in the midst of a manic episode, might have been seeking refuge or a place to hide, her judgment impaired by her mental state. They pointed to cases of individuals with bipolar disorder exhibiting unusual behavior, including climbing to high places or seeking out confined spaces. But even these explanations failed to fully address the logistical challenges of Elisa's final moments. The official investigation into Elisa Lam's death was eventually closed, the case deemed a tragic accident fueled by mental illness. But for many, the official explanation lacked a sense of closure. The unanswered questions lingered, casting a shadow of doubt over the case and ensuring that Elisa Lam's story would continue to be debated and dissected in the years to come. The official conclusion of accidental drowning did little to satisfy those engrossed in the case. The circumstances surrounding Elisa Lam's death remained bizarre, riddled with unanswered questions. The eerie elevator footage refused to be neatly filed away. The LAPD maintained that Elisa's bipolar disorder played a significant role in her death. Her judgment likely impaired during a manic episode. This explanation failed to explain how she reached the water tank. Could she have accessed the roof unnoticed? Did she have the strength to move the heavy tank lid? These questions remained unanswered, fueling speculation and doubt. The elevator footage continued to be analyzed and debated. Some argued Elisa's behavior could be attributed to mental health struggles. Others pointed to gestures and expressions as signs of fear or paranoia. The passage of time did little to dim the public's fascination with the case. Elisa Lam's story became a cautionary tale about mental health and the dangers of traveling alone. The Cecil Hotel, linked to Elisa's fate, stood as a grim reminder of lingering mysteries. The unanswered questions linger long after the investigations have closed. The dark side of the internet often eclipses the search for truth. The unanswered questions that linger long after the official investigations have closed. Elisa Lam's story, a tragedy amplified by the internet, left a lasting impact on the world. It wasn't just a local news story, quickly forgotten amidst the daily churn of headlines. It became a global phenomenon, a digital ghost story shared and reshaped in online forums and social media. Elisa's case transcended cultural barriers, captivating a global audience united by their fascination with the unknown. The Cecil Hotel became synonymous with Elisa's tragic fate. Tourists flocked to the hotel drawn by a morbid curiosity. The hotel's dark history was thrust into the spotlight, creating a macabre mythology. Elisa's case highlighted the internet's influence on criminal investigations. Online sleuths conducted their own investigations, often uncovering details overlooked by traditional media. The internet became a digital courtroom where evidence was presented and theories debated. The internet's pursuit of truth could also be intrusive and hurtful. Elisa's family, grappling with grief, found themselves in a media storm, their privacy invaded. The line between public interest and personal tragedy became blurred, often at the expense of compassion. Beyond the headlines and the hashtags, beyond the theories and the speculation, there was Elisa Lam, a daughter, a sister, a friend. A young woman with dreams and aspirations, her life cut tragically short. It is easy to get lost in the mystery, to become fixated on the unanswered questions, but it is important to remember the human toll of this tragedy, the pain and loss that continue to ripple outward, touching the lives of those who knew and loved Elisa. Elisa's family, determined to honor her memory, established the Elisa Lam Memorial Scholarship Fund at the University of British Columbia, where she had been a student. The scholarship, a testament to Elisa's love of learning and her desire to make a difference in the world, provides financial assistance to students pursuing degrees in education, a field Elisa had been passionate about. In the years since Elisa's death, her family has chosen to remain largely out of the public eye, focusing on healing and preserving her memory in their own way. They have shared stories of Elisa's kindness, her infectious laugh, her love of animals, and her passion for photography. They have asked the public to remember Elisa not for the tragic circumstances of her death, but for the vibrant life she lived, the joy she brought to others, and the potential that was tragically cut short. Elisa's story, while undeniably tragic, also serves as a reminder of the importance of mental health awareness and the need for compassion and understanding for those struggling with mental illness. Bipolar disorder, the condition Elisa lived with, affects millions of people worldwide, often manifesting in unpredictable ways. By sharing Elisa's story, by talking openly about mental health challenges, we can help to break down the stigma surrounding mental illness and create a more supportive and understanding society for those who need it most. Years have passed since Elisa Lam's body was found in that water tank atop the Cecil Hotel. The hotel has been rebranded and renovated, but the memory of Elisa Lam lingers. Her story refuses to be confined to the past. The internet has largely moved on, but fascination with Elisa's case persists. How did Elisa Lam access the rooftop and end up in the water tank? Was her death a tragic accident or something more sinister? Elisa Lam's case defies easy explanation, resisting closure. It is a reminder that some mysteries remain unsolved,